Yizzo. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is our Friday live from By the Hood. This is something that we do every Friday. Pull up just for a little bit, talk to our people about what's going on in the world today. You know what I'm saying? I'm the host, as always, Jimmy. Got my partner, Corey. Corey, what's up, brother?
Man, uh, just happy to be alive, man. It's 2021 is like the 2020 deluxe. Like it's like getting the iPhone 12 Plus. It's like,
I
getting
see
the
folks
the
pulled
bonus.
in on Facebook and YouTube. Yo, so for those on Facebook and YouTube, make sure you leave us some comments, rap to us, let us know what's going on. Hit the like button, hit the share button. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for a couple more folks to come in. The show can't start till at least Don pull up. When the show don't start unless Don here. Like if Don ain't here, we ain't starting. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, man. Um, Other than that though, man, how the market treat you this week?
It treated me well actually. Um, Two things. One, I bought the Billionaire Babies report from Leslie.
Oh, first of all, put some respect on her name. It's Tropicana Less now, man. She got the
Okay,
juice.
I'm
She got
sorry.
the juice, beloved.
I bought that Billionaire Babies report from Tropicana Less. And let's say that thing had crazy amounts of juice. Like I'm that joint had me sitting in positions of crazy amounts, like options amounts.
Yeah.
So shout out to Tropicana Leslie Richardson on Facebook, our partner at Bada Hud. Tropicana Let's drop some gems on us. Then I'm up on the some plays that our other partner from DYO, Jay Johnson, he gave us Netflix, at a certain range.
Mm-hmm.
Ran off on the plug on that John. Then I hit on the Etsy John. I ain't catch the Monday wave. I caught the second wave on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I caught a little bit of that. Taiwan Semiconductors, I knocked that in the head. Um,
So you was cooking this week, man.
yeah, I was cooking with fish grease until the day, and then then the day, I, I hit on a SQQQ John, but my overall portfolio looked like like somebody stabbed it. That joint was bleeding like a pig today. I was like all those
Listen,
games, all those
listen.
games. I was like, oh
Let's
god,
show so much love that she even had me cashing out on something today with all the blood in the water. I hit like 35%. I think it was PTR. It was one of them, like one of those plays she gave me.
yeah, PLTR.
Yeah, PLTR. Like,
Listen, I smacked that in the head earlier off her call this week. I smacked that in the head for 30%. So what y'all don't know is when I see 30%, I run right.
mm-hmm,
So I don't I don't the big gains I got is because I was holding the stop. Like on them plays, if
yeah.
I like overnight, oh yeah, how about this? Lance, I hit over 100%. Lance got this whole bag challenge inside of our group. I smacked that in the head for over 100%
You already
Alibaba.
know I did. Me and you got in the same exact price.
Our
Yeah,
whole
Alibaba.
group, our whole group smacked out. Like so, we was smacking out this week. Like we was out here. Like it was
Yeah,
crazy. Like
yeah.
I
We
felt
we
like a dope.
definitely did the market dirty. Like it was 2 days ago. I was like, yo, this is for the cold crush right now. That's all I can say,
Yeah,
man. Let's check in
yeah.
with the folks, man. Folks checking in real quick though. Jose, what's up, family? How you? We got Jalil, man. Coming in from Mexico, man. Shout out to you, good brother.
Oh man,
Enjoy Mexico and Mexico. That sounds amazing
right?
right now. Bianca, how are you?
Year, what's going on?
Shout out to Nairobi. Nairobi's in the building. She's also in Badahood University too. Nairobi, you about to see how crazy it gets, specifically when Sunday comes up and we do our $1 million challenge. That's when it gets insane inside there. You know what I mean? Mac Mia, what's going on? How are you? Adrian. See, Adrian, I know you ducking indictments and all that, but I gotta get with you as soon as this show is over because I have to get you in the group because like you're supposed to be in there, but your profile, like I know you ducking indictments, so
No,
you be hiding on
create.
Facebook.
Listen, create another profile so we can get you in there. Like do something because you missing out. We don't want you to miss out.
Yeah, man. Mark, what's up, homie? How you? How you, good brother? Don pulled up. Don, I know you missed
Yeah,
it earlier. Don, watch the replay. I literally put out there, Don. I said this show can't start until Don show up. I said until
yeah.
Don show up, we not officially starting, man. Yeah, I'm saying Contagion. Hey, what's going on? She's up in the
Hey,
group. Madeline Freedom, what's going on, Madeline? How are you?
Yo, what's going on?
Jessica's also tuned in. We appreciate all the love, man. But getting back to the market this week, right? Um, what was crazy is right. So this is the emotional part. We talk a lot about the emotions of investing, right? And the crazy part about emotions is it works both ways when you're up and when you're down. So I had a crazy up week this week, right? But my emotions I still had to fight my emotions because, yo, Tropicana Les gave me a play. I think it was Wednesday. I made like 1,500%. Right. So here's what's crazy about it. And I put it in the group, right? I showed the so
Yeah,
I made like 1,500%, something crazy like that. And the thing is, I had never set it to automatically sell once. I generally set it to like, yo, once it hits 30, get out. I never set that. So that son bitch ran up like 1,500%. So now I'm like, I'm sitting there fighting with myself because, my strategy is get 30 and go, get 30 and go. Like, you know what I'm saying? When we talk about trading, not investing, we talk about the trading aspect of it. I'm big on get 30 and go. If it goes the other way, 30, I'm out. Actually 25. And that's a lesson I learned from Antonio that you have to have your top side bigger than your bottom side. It can't be the same on both
it's
sides.
supposed to be. It's supposed to be 2 to 1 or 3 to 1.
Yeah,
But
yeah, 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 yeah.
we hit so often that 2 to 1, 3 to 1. We
I
let
know it's
that.
crazy. But that joint read the 1,500. So I'm like sitting there now. And I'm sitting on plays, right? I'm sitting on a specific play right now. I'm up 80%, and I know better, but I'm still sitting on it. Like that's the that's
I'm
the
being a
emotion.
weirdo, dog.
Yo, that's the
Cash
emotion part of it, though.
out. I'm
That's the
being a
emotion.
weirdo and cash that out, dog.
I know. But we'll see what happens over the
Or set
weekend,
a
man.
trailing stop so it don't never go back under 30%.
Yeah,
Set a
that
trailing stop.
that's the play, man. But that's what's going on, man. The group is growing like crazy. I had a dope interview. I had a couple interviews this week, so I did an interview with our brother Tank, Charles Tank Harris, who's a legend in the financial sector. He's an absolute legend, and he actually invited me on his show. And the first one was so good, he brought me back twice. He has a daily show, so did that. Did a interview last night with Anthony Lee. That was amazing. All those are in the group as well. So this week was kind of crazy for us. But the topic for tonight is pretty much the death of a dollar, man. And I'll
Yeah,
start the conversation with like this, man. I was studying today before we got on here. I was watching my DYO course because another thing for the folks in the group, right? If you're taking our course or you get to the next level and you start taking options, even the precious metals, whatever it may be, you have access to them forever. So I took DYO a long time ago, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like what I paid is not what y'all got to pay. So, but the fact is, I always go back and watch it. And when I was watching it today, and this is a couple of years ago that he made some of this content. Jay was going off about monopoly money being thrown into the economy. He was like, "This damn monopoly money!" Like he was talking about it in the course, and
yeah.
I'm like, "Man, we in 2021, and
They
that's
still
kind of what's going on, right?"
listen. They tell you in Monopoly the bank never goes broke, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the government is showing you that Monopoly was created as a way to show what they really do. Like, you know, like the whole thing is set up. Like they really out here just printing money. Now, what I will say is that crypto is like a stopgap because if we didn't have crypto, I would be super dumb scared. I'm still but because there's crypto in the world and there's other ways and forms of currency, like if the dollar crash, I'm not really going to be that sad or upset because there's so many other ways to float your economy now that you don't even, you need a world economy so that people can transact. But we have a world, we have something that we can transact on. We have Bitcoin, we have Ethereum, we have all of these other things that we can transact on. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's not really, and then on the blockchain, it actually makes it easier. And the reason why blockchain hasn't been adopted is because you can see everything that happens on the blockchain. So all of the dark money and all that goes away if everything goes on the blockchain. Like those you know how your grandmom used to hit you in the palm
Mm-hmm.
with the with the $100 handoff, where she fold up a bill and smack you in the palm with it and say, "Hey, baby, take that." You can't do that on the blockchain. Every single thing that happens on the blockchain is seen by everybody else on the blockchain. That's how everything is verified.
Mm-hmm.
So all that dark money goes away on the blockchain. So the real reason why the blockchain hasn't been fully adopted is because governments don't want that kind of transparency because they can't really hide all the, like, the Pentagon can't lose $10 trillion of everything on the blockchain. You can't just lose $10 trillion. And so that's why the dollar's never going away. It might not be called a dollar, but some facsimile of that dollar is going to be around for a long time because they
Well,
don't want that kind of full transparency.
here's what I'll say. Like we're not, close to being Venezuela or anything like that. And that's one of the powers of precious metals too, is because it's been a store of value for thousands of years. Um, and as I go on this one, first of all, this is not investment advice. It says that within the caption as well. This is an investment advice. So anything that we say, make sure you consult your financial advisor. But we're just talking about the economy right now. So precious metals have been a store of value for thousands of years, and when you watch what's going on within that market too, so you can see the fluctuations in there every time money is being printed. Money printer go burst. They say in the Bitcoin space. But what's crazy is with Biden coming in, he dropped his spending plan. So I saw like last night when the spending plan we were talking about it, some folks were like, "Okay, this should make the market boom," and others were like, "No." That's not going to happen because of what that's going to do to money. So, and we talk about this within the precious metals course about how every time you print money, you devalue what's there. You're just throwing more into the system, so therefore, it's just not worth as much, which is problematic in the long run, especially for those that are just out there in their savings account just sitting on cash, which is always amazing to me. I'm always amazed when you talk to some folks how, and a lot of our folks are just sitting on cash. Because sometimes we don't know any better, and sometimes like it's that fear.
Trust issues,
Mm-hmm.
verified trust issues with banks and the government. So I get it, man. Like, listen, man, I used to be a paper bag, uh, money under the mattress, shoebox dude, man, because I really distrust anything that our government does. Our government has proved untrustworthy over a very, very long time. And so, when you read enough, your trust levels go down. So, um, I get why those people do that, but then when you start to read, you also know that inflation is a son bitch, and if you don't beat inflation, you just losing money. You out here just losing, and so
Yeah.
you gotta either you gotta do one or two things. You gotta own businesses, or you gotta own property. Like, that's it.
Well, and that's one of the most important parts about this conversation we're going to have tonight. Everybody should be doing something, right? I don't get into what's better, what you got to do, what you shouldn't be doing. There's a lot of that online. I don't get into that. I'm not one of these anti 9 to 5 folks, and I don't get into any of that
Yeah,
stuff.
none of that.
But my point is, everybody has to be doing something because if you're not doing anything, what's happening is your dollar is losing value. So whether you're taking that money and you're multiplying it, or whether you're putting it in something that will appreciate or store the value, whether it's a precious metal or even a property, if you take a piece of real estate, that's also a store of value. Um, you need to be doing something to make your money go to work for you. Because if not, like you're just going to lose it, and more money will be printed. When you look, a matter of fact, I'm gonna read this article to you. Let's just pulling this article up that it's on CNBC, and they're interviewing a hedge fund manager. He says, "Be careful what you wish for. Biden's spending plan could pop this stock market bubble." So I do believe there's a huge bubble because when you look at the valuations of some of these companies, specifically the tech companies, there's nothing that can really point to why it's being valued that way. Um, but here's what he says. I'll read a couple parts of this. It came out right after he announced the details of the $1.9 trillion rescue package. That's right, with a T. $1.9 trillion is about to be put on the streets. You know what I'm saying? So, just be aware of that. And they were talking to David Neuhauser, who's a managing director of a Chicago-based hedge fund. And he said that Biden right now is attempting to mimic the Roaring '20s, right? By getting people back to work, putting money out on the streets, and getting all that happen. He said, but beware, because the Roaring '20s led to 1929, and we saw what happened in 1929.
Okay, so
We're not
yeah,
going to go there, and that wasn't
yeah,
his point. But his point was when you create plans to put so much money on the street, and you're just constantly pumping and pumping. There's only one way for it to go. After that, that's his point. Now, he's not saying because there's things put in place that we'll never get back there, right? So we understand that, and that wasn't what he was saying. What he's saying is when you continuously pump money into the system, there's really only one way for it to go, unless you can't do that forever.
no, for sure. But also, when you don't control your money supply, you don't control which way the economy goes. And that's the other part of money that most people don't understand, that the United States doesn't even control its own money supply. And so when you don't control your own money supply, you at the behest and will of the people who do. And so
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing about what's going on in with the money supply is that they gotta ask, like, it's so weird. Like, they gotta ask somebody, like, y'all politicians, y'all supposed to control the money supply, but y'all gotta ask somebody to go ahead and put money on the street. Like, so that's I understand what you're saying, but like, the economy will go tight when the people who control the money supply decide to raise the interest rates, and that's just period, point blank. They want to When they want to slow down the supply of money, they'll raise the interest rates to the point where it's going to be hard to get the money out of the system. It's going to be
Yeah.
trying to get the blood from a turnip.
So let me ask the folks out there watching, man. Leave me a comment. What do you guys think about what's going on with all this money being printed? Like, what do you think will happen based upon that? So we got some more comments I want to get to. Adrian's laughing. Um, hey Patricia, how are you? Let's see. You already know, Don. You already know what it is. Appreciate that. Appreciate you saying that, Adrian. Are you a broker? Say yes. Oh, so here's the thing. No, actually, I'm not. Neither one of us are brokers. I actually gave up my securities license, and I'll tell you why.
And he stopped me from getting mine because I was damn near, I was right at the precipice.
Well, because when I got my securities license, what I recognized, and this is my experience I'm speaking to, that you just become a glorified salesperson. And a lot of times you don't do what's best for the individual you're talking to. So I'd rather teach people how to fish themselves as opposed to trying to sell them products to make a commission. So I let go of my securities license. Um, I'm licensed now in real estate and real estate valuation, but not in the stock market, just to answer the question about securities. Um,
You was
Alan,
going,
what's going on, brother? How are you? Yes, sir. Everybody hit the like button, please, dude. Please hit the like button.
yeah,
Hey, Bayo, what's up? What's going on? How are you? Rich, thanks for coming through.
what up?
What do y'all think about 5G? What
Oh, man.
standpoint? The
Yeah.
technology. You want to get in some conspiracy theories, or you want to talk about the billionaire babies list? Like, when you talk about 5G, which part of it? So,
All
Corey,
right.
you got an answer for him.
So what I think about 5G is that it's uh it's a segue, right? Because there's so much AI and technology being built. It's like they're building out Skynet. What was the joint on Terminator? That was Skynet.
Yeah, what's kind of yeah.
Yeah, they building out Skynet right in front of our face, right? Everything that is going on right in front of us, and like um, it makes more sense to make decisions based on what you can see, right? So what they're doing is the building the speeds and all of that kind of stuff to where
Hmm.
everything is instantaneous, right? I remember when we used to get on the internet, we had dial up, dog. Like we had like it took 10 minutes to get on the internet. You had to put in a disk into your computer that logged into somewhere, and then they had to send the signal somewhere, and then they had to shoot the signal back to you to get like. And now we're at the point where you turn on your computer and you can talk on. You know what I mean? Now, as far as an investment, yeah, get your money in. Get your money in because the 5G. If you look at what Leslie said, they about to go to 10G. So all that infrastructure is being built. Anywhere you see infrastructure being built, get your money in there because that's what it. Because they getting all that money. Like if the government fast track it, but what most people don't understand is the government determines how and who gets rich, right? Because the government contracts determine what can be built. Congress makes the laws. Uh, they make the tax code, so they tell you how they want you to get rich, and they make and through the laws and through tax it through the laws and through the tax code. And
Hmm.
so they control who and how can get rich. You can definitely wiggle and maneuver your way through the system. You can get on the black market and all that. But that's the other thing about blockchain. When you on blockchain, like that black market stuff, really, that go
Well,
bye bye.
that's why you'll see regulation in there soon, and we're gonna get into that in a second because what you said is true about the tax code. When you look at the tax code and you see things such as farming, real estate, there's always benefits. Job producers always benefits to that because they're telling you what you should be doing. Collect assets and chill. You already know.
Chill.
So What's going on, good brother?
Here,
Salute coming in from West Oakland, California.
what's going
You know what
on?
I'm saying? Cali, what's good, Cali? Let me see. What would you recommend people to do that are struggle related to the pandemic? So, in terms of generating income, is that what your question is? Dahlia, let me know exactly what you're asking, and and I'll definitely give you an answer because I mean I know people are out there struggling, based upon what's going on. Everybody exception new members. Yeah, appreciate that, Jose. Absolutely true. Venezuela 2.0. Hopefully it doesn't get that bad. It is gonna get bad, but everybody here, men of Prentigo Burr, possibly headed into hyperinflation. Yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah.
that.
This is true. Guess I must learn to fish. Mac, listen, hit us up. That's the thing. We got a lot of folks that'll be willing to help you out and get you
Yeah, it
started.
don't even gotta be us. If you,
Yeah, because that's the thing. It ain't gotta be us.
we'll link you with whoever fits you right.
Yeah. So let's see. There's a Tropicana less in the building. They're up to 10G now.
Damn.
That's like that's like when they released a new iPhone and they already got the next three
Yeah,
done, but they're gonna make you go through these first.
all the numbers between 5 and 10. Like, what the hell is going on? All the numbers between 5 and 10. What happened to 6 and 7 and 8 and 9? Like, they just skipped all them numbers. They just went from 5 to 10. Like,
So
damn.
Baya talks about foreign investment. All right, so Baya, Tropicana Les, who just had the 10G up, she has a report out. You can hit us up, shoot us an inbox that she does a full analysis of that sector. So you can be able to look through there and see a lot of different opportunities that are within the 5G sector. So that's where I would go in terms of, investing for 5G. I work in telecommunications and I'm working on wireless certificate to go to work in that area. There's so much going on, especially with IoT. And
Yeah,
IoT is the Internet of Things. Yeah. So
yeah, that's crazy.
yeah,
And
yeah.
the other thing that nobody really talks about that might wreck the whole thing is quantum computing.
Hmm.
Like quantum computing might just set the whole thing in a tizzy. So if they ever perfect that and get that moving, it's gonna be a mess out here.
Yeah. So Kim says, how do you get and gain access to the Facebook group? That's for anyone who has purchased the course from Bodyhood University or Discover Your Options, some of our partner courses. If you've already purchased the course and you haven't been put in the group, please shoot us a message and I'll check and make sure because we want to make sure that everybody gets access to the group because of everything that's going on within the group. You know what I mean? So what do you know about getting a new CD? Just got another 1,000. So when you speak about that, I have no idea. You know what he's saying right here, Core?
No, I don't know what that is.
First, I was like, he's talking about a CDL, but then I was like, I hope he's not talking about a certificate of deposit because I'm cool on them.
Yeah,
Legislation was signed in April. Yeah, I saw that legislation, but it's about to be a whole lot more legislation because the thing about that the blockchain technology moves so fast. I'm gonna share some with y'all in a second. Because I've been talking about this and people are like, man, you keep talking about this, but I don't believe you. So I'm gonna show it in a second.
yep.
Jose, appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Back in the Windows 98 days.
No, before '98, man, Windows was out and Windows had something like 90. I think 95 was the first Windows.
Man, what you know about Net Zero?
Yeah, how about that? AOL and yeah, anybody her course you
Yep.
enroll.
Jose in here doing work, man. Yeah, I mean, appreciate you, Jose. What can I do with this? Listen, Adrian, go get that. If that's available to you, make sure you go get that.
Yeah,
Make sure you
go
go
get
get
that
that.
immediately.
Okay, so Kello says my dad died and left me a house. It's in his name. Do I fix it up and rent it or sell it? It appraised at about 10 G's, 2 bedrooms. So first of all, what
You-
area or location are you in? That's the first thing. Second thing is you want to make sure that you get the title corrected. You might have to open up an estate. Again, I don't know where you're from. If I knew you were from Philly, I could say exactly what to do in Philadelphia. But you want to make sure you get title cleared. You want to make sure that it's put in your name. You want to check and see whether there's any sort of liens or anything on the property. If not, the answer to that question is going to shock people that I'm going to say this because we are by the hood and we talk about owning. The answer is honestly, it depends, right? And the reason I say it depends is because I don't know your entire situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, this isn't investment advice, but I'm giving you my opinion on my perspective. I don't know what else you have going on, right? I don't know what you have going on in terms of debt, what you have going on in terms of credit, in terms of income. Now, if assuming everything is cool, I would definitely try to hold on to it. because I believe that long-term wealth is built by owning assets and creating cash flow. But I also understand that at times it might be best to put money in and flip it to take a lump sum. So it all depends upon everything in your situation. You can shoot us an inbox and I'll definitely jump on the line with you and try to help you out. And if I can't personally and you're somewhere else and across the country, I'll put you in touch with someone. So I have a network of people that deal in real estate all over the world. And so we can definitely get you in touch with somebody. You know what I mean? So that's my answer to that question. Anything you want to say about that, Core?
Uh, yeah, just get the estate, get the estate settled. Having the deed, and all of that is great, but you need the estate settled.
You might have to open up an estate. It all depends whether your dad died intestate or not.
Yeah,
Whether he died, if he died and he had a will and he didn't have a will, whether you have siblings. So there's a whole lot of variables that goes into play with that specific
yeah,
question. But
just
like I said,
make sure the paperwork gangsters don't take you down when you try to do whatever you try to do, because the
great point,
paperwork.
right? Let's
The
talk about that for a quick second, right? We have to make sure that within our community we getting our paperwork done right. And Corey can attest to this. When you don't take care of your paperwork, because you like, and specifically when it comes to real estate, you like, well, that's my family property. A lot of things can happen there. So you want to make sure your paperwork is straight. Get with somebody, man. And special shout out to Dawn, who came as part of our community now, came from the Black Day Trader, because she's licensed in damn near every state at this point. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be throwing you her way. She was like, no, I'm licensed here, there. You know what I'm saying? Every island.
Everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
So
am licensed here. I am licensed there. I am licensed everywhere.
Sam, what's up, good brother?
That was funny.
Okay, well, hit us up, man. We
Hey,
appreciate that. We appreciate that.
come holler.
Okay. Yes, in terms of income, some people have a lack of education, no skill set. I don't like reprinting money, but I also don't like discussing problems without solutions. All these businesses are cutting jobs to cut their expenses, but private relief is non-existent, so government just keeps printing. Yeah. So what we're facing right now is unprecedented. There's a lot going on right now, and there is a lack of education and no skill set. So um we definitely have to have solutions. So what are some of the solutions? And let's get into that, right? So some of the solutions are understanding that you have to store your money somewhere outside of the dollar. That's one. Two, and I think a lot of people are waking up to this. Owning land is important because when you have the ability to grow your own food, that's when you really, how they always say money doesn't grow on trees. I mean, if you have the ability to print food, that's the closest you'll get. I mean,
Yeah,
grow food rather. So I think we have to start learning to grow food. I mean, and that includes myself. I tried to grow some stuff this past year. It didn't work out too well. So I'm waiting for the summer so I could take another stab at it. I was killing everything known to man. But it is
and
what
you
it is, man.
sweat the black thumb.
Yeah, man. I was trash. I was complete trash. But it's something I never did before. I was like, I want to learn because I also see where the world is going, man. So I think those are some of the solutions. Also, community is part of the solution, right? We need to start coming together to be able to share ideas, share goods, services, food, things of
Yeah,
that nature. We have to be able to take care of ourselves. We need to
yeah,
learn to have weapons and practice the proper way to use weapons. Like these are things, and I know it sounds like mad Terminator-ish, and I'm not trying to sound that way, but if you can't get food, you can't protect yourself,
yeah.
it's
Like,
problematic.
yeah, man. That's definitely like if you can't protect what you have, then you don't own it. Like if somebody that can take it from you will. Like, and that's just basically how the world really actually works. Like people want to, like the tamp down version of what the world really look like. The tamp down version is weird and it really don't even exist. Like as you can see by this past week when they stormed the Capitol, when our Mayo colored counterparts want something, they go take it. Like they went and stormed the Capitol,
Yeah.
so they not playing no games. Like so, if they really wanted something from us, they would take it. They already did. They took us from where we was at. You know what I mean? Like when they wanted something, they took it.
Dahlia, I appreciate that comment too, because I agree. Like a lot of times we should be like solutions based when we have these conversations.
Yeah,
But in my opinion, those are some of the things that we can do and start to work on it. So it's not an overnight thing, but if we're thinking about these things, then we can start doing things. So that's why we talk about investing a lot, growing your money, because you have to learn to make money. One of the things that happened through COVID, and I've had a number of people tell me this, is they recognize just how fragile their situation was. So now they're picking up, different skills. They're practicing skills. You know, how many people I talked to that told me like, "Yo, I'm making money knitting now." I'm like, knitting? I didn't, you knit. I'm like, well, neither did I. But they picked up the skill because of COVID. It's like,
COVID told me that I know how to knit now.
yeah, people selling platters out of the crib. Like, all people are finding ways, like, and they recognize just how fragile the situation is. But
that bag to the side, man.
we need to keep that same energy though. Like, as things start to open back up, this vaccine is out there. That's a whole other conversation. Understand what it was like when everything was shut down, because this can happen again, right? So I would say that we need to make sure that we're always being prepared for what could happen. Wayne, what's going on? I blame American business for not understanding paying folks a living wage. Americans spend by nature. Yeah. So the crazy part is, as they raise the wages, like, we're gonna spend it back anyway. We're gonna put it right back in the street.
Because consumer debt is still going to be out of control. Like, as long if they never fix the thing is, people don't understand that 90% of the American economy is debt.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the paper money is cute, but most of it is ones and zeros in some computer program.
Yeah.
And it's debt. So, like, we really been living on the blockchain for the last 50 years. But since we've been swiping cards. 35 years ago, when people told us that ATMs was going to be the hottest thing in the streets, people ain't believe them. Like, people wouldn't go to ATMs when they first came out. I'm old enough to remember when people wouldn't go to ATMs.
And remember when people were scared to shop online? Like, I'm not putting my credit card online.
Yeah,
that was the thing.
And now you got people who get Amazon and DoorDash and everything to their door every single day. But that's how the world evolves. And so as you see the world evolving, as you see infrastructure being built, get on the front side of that so you don't pay the tax on the back side. Like, be on the front side, be an investor, and not be on the back side and get swallowed in the wave.
All right, so Jose says quantum computing will AI to really take over. Will allow AI to really take over as well, because he's saying the AOL dish. Yeah, down. We old school. Windows 3.1.
Damn.
I can see blockchain and AI tech together changing the game. I mean, it already is,
It's already been changed. Oh, will allow AI.
Okay, he's in Kansas. He has the deed, and it's just him. I'm in class, not hurting the cell. Okay, so if you're not hurting the cell but want to flip it, I would need that. Okay, no will. He has no debt. I just have student loans, 20K, about to graduate this spring, looking for a career. Okay, look, I can get you in touch with somebody out in Kansas that deals with real estate. Shoot us an inbox right now, and and I'll shoot you one back as soon as we get off here. And we'll jump on the line together, and I'll try to put you with some. I'm not out in Kansas, but I can plug you in with somebody, take care of you, whatever. Andres, what's up, good brother? How you?
What's going on?
Appreciate that, bro.
Thank you.
He's referring to the AOL. Okay, I got you. Water sources as well. Chastity, great point. We got to make sure these are the things we need to be thinking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would like to get a real estate license. What would you recommend when it comes to schools training to prepare for the exam? So the thing about the real estate exam, which is interesting, we were just having this conversation. I think it was with Anthony. We were having this conversation. What you study for in the exam has nothing to really do with what you do on a daily basis. But the way to study for the real estate exam, honestly, is to get one of those prep courses or books and continuously take those questions. Because a lot of times what you'll find is when you get the state exam, it's some of the same questions. I don't know what state you're in, Madeline, but that would be my suggestion. In terms of schools and training, that's all changed now. A lot of that is online.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really, as long as they're accredited and they can qualify with your state, whatever state you're in, to allow you to sit for the exam. You know what I mean? So there's schools like Kaplan here in Philadelphia. A lot of us go to what's known as TUC, TUCC, Temple University Center City. So Temple has an amazing real estate program, as does Community College here in Philadelphia. But I don't know exactly where you are to kind of answer that question to see if there's a local answer to that. But from a national perspective, there's tons of companies. I know Kaplan is one big one, but if you need further assistance, just let me know. Rainwater conservation and access to land with wells. See, these are the kind of the conversations we need to have, Chastity. I agree with you. Stacking funds to invest in yourself, to add skills, increase your ability to to make more income. Look on the low cost ROI skills. Become a home inspector. Buy a hot dog cart. You got a hard
Yeah,
answer. Fatima, how are you? There's money out here. You just have to open your eyes.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I appreciate the comment. Appreciate the comment. Appreciate that comment. Yeah. So, oh, she's in NY. Oh man, there's a lot of schools in NY. You be good. Look. Here go the real estate mogul right here. Dawn, what's going on? Dawn
Right.
licensed in everywhere across the world. So,
I
what's
am
up, Dawn?
licensed there. I am licensed there. I am licensed everywhere.
Yeah, water being looked at being traded on the market as a commodity. Yeah, I've been seeing articles about that all year, and that's insane. It said TV would never take off. Nobody want to stare at a box all day. That's the absolute truth. Rich, I think it was you one time. Rich went to the timeline and posted a bunch of like tech
Already
perspectives that I worked out wrong, and some of them were like absolutely crazy. So that's why when you see new technology and people say, "Man, you know, I'm so glad I learned to grow food, build, repair a house, and use fire." Listen, man, you ahead of the curve right now, man, because those are skills right there. That
always gonna be useful.
yeah, man, yeah, man, you already know. Listen, I want to share something with everybody real quick. Let me share my screen. I want to share something with everybody real quick, just because I know that I was mentioning this. Let me see. I was mentioning this on a couple different platforms, and folks thought I was joking. Let me see. Tell me if you can you see the screen, Core?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. So this is on a blockchain, right? And this is a black owned company, by the way. So they have like all sort of futures and things on the blockchain. This is their art gallery, right? So I'm gonna enter the art gallery. Now, this is what's going on. So I was in one of these this past week when I was telling everybody about it, and folks thought I was like, yo, I was joking, where you can literally walk around a virtual art gallery, right? Just so
Did
you can
you
see how crazy it is.
did you click on it already?
Yeah, let me see. Is it still? Let me see.
It's
Hold on
still
one
on the
second.
other page.
All right, so all right, I figured out what I gotta do. All right, let me share the other screen. Hold on one second. I want to make sure I share this with y'all. Hold up. First of all, I want to put it full screen. And hold on 1 minute, because this is actually insane.
Yeah,
All right, can you see the screen now?
yeah. So this is the virtual art gallery.
This is a virtual art gallery. All of this is done on the blockchain, by the way. So that's the one thing. So you can like look around. There's pieces of art. All right, let me see. I'm gonna have to plug the mouse up so I can move. But if you just look around here, this is like a real gallery. And I don't see anybody here now, but the time I was in this one, there was other folks walking around. And if they're
Oh,
walking around,
somebody on the left hand side
oh
is
yeah,
walking.
you'll see their avatar. Hold on one second. Let me put this mouse on so I can actually walk around. You see somebody on the left hand side, right? So this is kind of what the future is. So when COVID happened, you see a lot of things moving online, but people within the tech space, they're already creating literally alternative worlds
Whole
where
virtual worlds.
yeah, where they're like, all right, let's see here. It's actually easier on the phone when you got a touchscreen. Here we go. Where's the piece where you can change it from avatar to y'all just bear with me because this is different. I usually do this on my phone. Yeah, so the mouse ain't even working either.
Yeah,
Probably because I'm sharing my screen.
yeah. Just click out of the jump.
Let me see. I was trying to show you when you go up to an actual piece of art. When you go up to an actual piece of art, you can read it. If anybody wants to link to this, I'll shoot you the link to this so you can take a look at it. But if you see like this is a piece of art here, there's a piece here. You can walk through this whole gallery. There's an upstairs. And when you walk up to the actual piece of art, you know, and you can see on the left hand side, you see the different people that are already here as well. There's instructions here that tells you like what's being shown right now. And when you walk up to the piece of art, it will actually speak to you, and what it'll tell you is like what was the motivation behind the person that created it, and what the price is.
What was the joint that was on HBO with the blue man on the joint? What was that?
Let me see.
What was the John Love? No, that ain't Lovecraft. What was the John with a Martian boy was uh based on the Marvel character? Uh, what was that?
What was going on? Somebody out there watching know what you're talking about.
The
Learned about it on Coinbase.
HBO John that was based on the Marvel character, the boy who could see into the future.
I don't know, but listen though, and,
Yeah,
and Dawn, you know what, Dawn, something else about this too. And Russell told me about this. Russell was showing me some stuff yesterday about like even real estate on a blockchain, right? Not the physical real estate that they put on a blockchain and tokenize, but virtual worlds where people are selling and flipping land. Um, and I know that Rich talked about the Central Land before, but there's a couple of them. Cats are out there flipping virtual property in 2021 and making a lot of money. So that art gallery I was just in, I was in one of those a couple weeks ago, and I saw a guy make $380,000 within a couple hours selling virtual art. So when I saw that, I was like, all right, I got to tell people about this just because I see that this is where things are going. Send the link. Matter of fact, let me put the link right here in the I'll put it in the chat. So you can click on this specific gallery right here. So y'all can take a look at that. I just put it in the comments. So y'all can take a look at that. But that right there, if you click on there and you play around with that, you can see just how where the world is moving, what's going on.
yeah, man, it's crazy out here. And so,
You talking about the Watchmen?
yeah, Watchmen. That's what I was talking about. So yeah, like remember when she was going to the John and you walk up to it and you press the John
Oh
and then it tell you the whole
yeah. You talking about Regina? Okay, I got you.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
with you
yeah,
now.
yeah, and it tell you the whole history of the
But that's kind of what happens here, but in
that's
a
what I'm
virtual
saying.
world. Yeah,
You
yeah. That's
can't
exactly what happens
I
here.
thought about it, I was like, damn, like they really telling us what's going on.
So Black Voltron, like, so here's the thing, right? You hear about these kind of things and you don't really pay attention to it. But when I had this experience, I was like, yo, this is the Matrix. Like,
The literal actual Matrix.
yeah, it's really going on, and there's people making it's a whole other economy that's taking place that most of us don't even know exists. You know what I'm saying? Guys selling bar for Bitcoin, yeah. So I know that there's a couple things about real estate on the blockchain. One is called Decentraland. You can look up Decentraland. The other one, let me look up because Russ sent me another one. And the other blockchain real estate piece is they're taking real estate in the real world. Now I gotta say that. That sounds crazy. In the real world, they're allowing people to invest in it and get paid via rent via Ethereum, and they're tokenizing it. That's a company called Realty, REALT. I think it's realty.co. So
Yeah,
you could look them up as well. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull them up for you. And the reason I'm showing these things, folks, is because again, we talk about being prepared for what's happening. And I want to make sure that, I share it when I come across things, I want to share it with our audience because this is what the future is. And we need to be like just paying attention to it, learning how to operate within these spaces, and really like learn how to get bread with it. So here's the real T one. All right. So is ownership reinvented. All these properties are already sold out. And this is one they got coming soon. All right. It's actually coming in 6 hours, 15 minutes. The minimum investment is only 51.15. Now, the thing about this is you have to be an accredited investor to kind of like participate in this. So I'm going to do it for y'all and let y'all know what the outcome is once I get my rent in Ethereum. But here's how it breaks down. They give you pictures of the property. Now, this is a regular property in Detroit. They give you the financials, 12% return, rent per token. So they tokenize it. You buy tokens, and that's what you get. Um, Square footage, lot size, construction year, everything. So it's fully rented already. It's not Section 8, so they got a market tenant. And this is what they're doing with real estate. And this is real estate in the real world. So, I want to share that with you guys as well.
yeah, man. It's people really out here riding around and getting it, man, and they getting it in every possible facet. And how this relates to money, right, is that they out here, they far outpacing what the dollar is doing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so they're just building a cachet. So when the dollar turns over or does whatever it does, they're going to be in position. If the dollar never turns over, they'll have millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
If it turns into the blockchain and where everything is on the blockchain and they getting their money, they gonna have it there too. So they're just getting in position.
That was one of the reasons I brought that up, because you talked earlier about, like, one of the answers for what's going on with the money printing being the blockchain. And when people are creating this whole other world, this whole other economy, they're going to be good regardless. So we need to, like, do some of the things we talked about just to make sure that we're prepared for what's really going on around us, right? So I wanted to make sure I share that. Rich, I thought about that too, yo. I'm about to
Right?
I'm about to get my Jackson Pollock on. And for those
I'm
in the
about to
who
let my son scribble on something and just
yo, and for those who are in the art, like, I don't think Jackson Pollock, I think his stuff is trash personally, but I know that he's one of the more popular artists. But you can't tell me that's not what he just did, where he just sat around and, like, splattered stuff, yo. And that's, no shade to Jackson Pollock. Shout out to your family if y'all watching, but yo, you really is trash, B. So I thought about that too, though, Rich. I said, yo, I'm about to get my Jackson Pollock on and put it on the blockchain and see if people will buy it just because it's on the blockchain.
wear a scarf 24/7. Yo,
Yeah, it's absolutely insane what's going on, but this is what it is.
Rich put up another joint, OpenSea.io.
Yeah. Look at this one. So this art side is why I like it. See, that's something different. Dawn, what's going on? How are you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Dawn?
You said OpenSea.io. So yeah, so I just want to share a couple of these things before we get out of here, because I want to make sure that we are aware of all of these what's called non-fungible tokens, this NFT part place that's going on. So OpenSea, is that the marketplace for rare things? All these are on a blockchain, Rich. This is a whole other economy too. Funny thing is, I wasn't familiar with this one. Rich just put me down, so I'm gonna show you guys this as well.
Rich stay on it.
So
Up on it.
So this is a whole marketplace for items that looks like you can buy via the blockchain. It's literally a virtual world. This is crazy.
Dang.
That's the money printer go bird joint. Elon Musk versus the Bears. Virtual worlds. So you can buy land in a virtual world. Collectibles. So this is a whole other economy where people are exchanging value. The internet is insane, yo.
Yo, like, they went to Mars and they never left. They really
the internet is insane. I don't know if y'all like could really see what's going on here. I'm gonna get off here in a second so we can finish this conversation. But thanks for sharing this, Rich, because this is absolutely insane. You can buy these pieces of land, and once they're gone, because so many people are participating in there, it's going to have a higher value. That's nuts, yo. That's nuts. Anyway, man. But appreciate you for sharing that, Rich. That's crazy. The art site is a mind bender. See what I mean? Yeah, when you go through that experience, you're like, yo, here's the crazy part. That's just one of them. The other one that I was in is it's called Nifty something or another. It's actually owned. I don't know if I should say their name out loud on here. Because we're streaming on Facebook too. It's owned by the Winklevoss twins. You know what I'm saying? If you would have invented Facebook, you'd invent anyway. You remember them from the Facebook movie, but they own that other one. They own the other one called Nifty. You can look it up. It's Nifty something, but that's another one where they sell art. That's the one where I was sitting in and I saw the kid make 380 grand within one evening. And I was sitting there like just astounded because the actual art is online. So you get the private keys to the art. So when I saw that, I said, yo, I got to share this with the folks. You know what I'm saying? Demetrius, the Bodyhood intro course is fire, bro. Great job. Appreciate that, brother. We definitely appreciate you saying that, man. Thank you for taking it. See, like your mind's blown when you see that. He said the art site is like playing Grand Theft Auto, but this is a real other economy that's going on, and just bringing it back home to our overall conversation, man. People are innovating from a technological standpoint. One of the reasons, so I'm a precious metals guy. I love the stock market. I love real estate, but one of the reasons I'm always paying attention to the blockchain is because when I see all the infrastructure and money being put in with some of the site like Rich just showed me with that art site. I see where things are going. So our people, how do we not get left behind? We want to have conversations like this. So I feel like if I'm just showing you this, now you can go ahead and do your Googles. You can play around and find more things. Hey, look, when you find things, bring them back to me. Let me know what you find. But when you go down that rabbit hole, when you look up non-fungible token NFT and you go down that rabbit hole and you see some of the like what's being created, art, there's things now where musicians are putting their music on the blockchain and selling directly to their
Yeah, yeah, they just cut the record company straight on out. So
so yes, so we need to be paying attention to this kind of stuff. We need to be learning how to grow food. We need to be learning how to invest, participate in all of these things because the dollar is dying, right? And one of the things that people don't understand a lot of times is that when you see something, right? So you say, I'm pretty sure all of us have heard our parents or one of our elders say, "Man, when I my age, a loaf of bread was this," and you say things are getting more expensive. Things aren't getting more expensive. The dollar is becoming less valuable. So now it takes more of them to buy the same good. So when gas used to be X and now it's Y, it's because there's less value in that dollar. So we need to make sure that we're multiplying these dollars or putting them in things and industries that's going to make sure that it sustains its value. So as a folk, we need to be working together. So I feel like when I see things, I should share it with you. When you see things, share it with me. Because as a community, we need
yeah,
to like be ahead of the curve. Because I'm studying the blockchain now like crazy, just to make sure I'm not left behind when these things take place. So y'all might see me bragging about my virtual art soon because I might be grabbing me some just so I can owe some what I'm saying, like owe some art. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but that's why we trying to solve that. And the
yeah.
only way is to have these conversations, man. Is to have these conversations,
Well,
man.
every great idea starts in the mind, and then every great idea that gets done starts with a conversation. Like you gotta put it out there into the world, and then you know, wealth is a team sport, right? That's what people don't get. Like people try to individualize wealth, and those people might succeed individually, but we as a collective get dusted off. Like they I call it shiny object syndrome, right? They put up the Russell Simmons, the billionaire people, the Oprah Winfrey's and all of those, and
Hmm.
those people are outliers, right? The vast majority of Black people are struggling.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is get that vast majority not struggling. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
nothing
you're
wrong
never gonna be able to save. You're never gonna be able to save everybody, but
with
there's enough of us, and there's a lot of people doing good work. So work
it.
collectively to do that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that work is not aggregated, right? There's a lot of people doing the same work, and that work is not aggregated because
Hmm.
personality clashes or whatever causes the work not to be aggregated. That's what happens. And so when you don't aggregate the work, you get little small pockets of people that succeed. But when you can aggregate the work, you get a larger and larger pockets of people that can succeed. And so that's what really is the key to build. Like when the civil rights movement was happening, is because all the work was aggregated. It started with a conversation, then it started with a larger conversation, and then they put a head person on top of it, man, woman, child, whoever was the head person, and then the work got aggregated out amongst the people, and then that's how the movement built. You know what I mean? But you can't build no movement without having a conversation, and that's going back to your point.
All right, so I just want to comment on this. So there's a page that I follow, and one of the personalities is talking about how can cryptocurrency be real? It's monopoly money. It's a trick, and black folks shouldn't get involved. I was like, unfollow. Here's the thing: a lot of people don't understand it, and when they don't understand it, they go to that because what's more monopoly money than our actual U.S. dollar?
In the U.S. currency, that's the ultimate in monopoly money. They
Hmm.
literally put it on a printer and go brrrr until it feels like they can do this unlimited amount of times, and so that is backed by the force of the U.S. government. That's what it's backed by,
Hmm.
because if other countries resist, then the United States come drop bombs on them. Like a
Yeah.
lot of these countries that we bombed over the last 20 years, that had more to do with money than it did whatever those countries supposedly did.
Yo, there's an amazing book. It's called Confessions of an Economic Hitman, and it's from a guy who used to be in the CIA, and he talks about like some of the different things that the CIA does from an economic standpoint that the average person doesn't know about. There's actually two books on that. It's part one and part two, but it's called Confessions of an Economic Hitman. So Adrian, I don't even argue with people like that because again, I see what's being built into space, so I know that there's so much investment there. I mean, obviously, none of us can predict the future, but what I do know is it's here to stay. Um, Jose Sanchez. There's a small town called Sonium Space on open
Nah,
sea where
I'm space.
Somnium, how do you pronounce Somnium Space on open sea where they have individuals building out their own community. And the dude's selling a medium-sized plot of virtual land for 19.9. Here's what's crazy about that. The good brother who was watching with us from Kansas talk about his property for 10K, right? In real life.
In real life,
And this is virtual, you know what I'm saying?
virtual plot of land in the Matrix costs 20 racks. Like,
And, and they got Matrix land going for 20 racks. That's insane.
yo,
Dawn, I think this point you made right here, a lot of people don't know that. All fiat systems has failed. There hasn't been one
every
that has
single
succeeded in the history of life.
at some point,
Yep.
all of
That's an amazing point, Dawn. A lot of people don't even understand that. Just study history to
yeah,
see that all of them have failed. Every
every,
single one of them.
yeah.
Yeah, it is a must read, man. Because when you read that book, you realize, like, okay, so we go about our daily lives. We out here trying to make money and we paying bills, and they got a whole. It's almost like we talk about now. It's a whole other thing going on that most of us don't even understand. There's going to create some kind of United Dollar crypto. However, it's already happening. Otherwise, it's diluted. Yeah. So I mean,
They have one, or it's called Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has a limited supply. And so the thing is, that's why. See, the thing why the whales are buying Bitcoin and not some of these other coins, why they're buying it Bitcoin in such big quantities, is because there's set to be a limited supply of it, right? And so if they control the major supply of it, and then they shoot the price up, those billionaires become trillionaires. And
yeah.
so that's why it's important for everyday average people to own Bitcoin, because when they're going to shoot the price up. That's
Here's what's interesting about the blockchain is that it's transparent, right? And you can go to Etherscan, it's etherscan.io, and anything that's on the Ethereum blockchain, you can see all the transactions. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, if you want to send me anything, I'm ethsweat.eth. You know what I'm saying? That's my nickname online is ethsweat. But anyway, so also, but you can see things on the blockchain, right? So when Bitcoin took a dive last week, one of the things that was interesting was people were posting on Twitter, they were showing like the transactions that were taking place. The folks that were selling out were the folks that had less than one Bitcoin. The people that were buying were those that had more than 100. So it's almost like every time, like it has its ebbs and flows, but every time that it drops, it's almost like the rich are getting richer. So you see all the transactions flowing into the people that have at least 100. So that's kind of insane, man. But Smelly Bucket War is a racket. This is true. This is true. Listen, it's almost 8 o'clock, folks. So before we get out of here, here's a couple things I want to say. For those that are in By the Hood University, the weekend's getting ready to start. Sunday is going to be amazing. We're bringing back the $1 Million Challenge, where we're going to have like some of the best traders that I know. You know what I'm saying? Jay Johnson, we're going to have Tone, we're going to have Spoon, myself, Corey, like Antonio. We're all going to be there, and we're going to break down several companies. I got some plays that I want to throw out and get the chart guys to throw them up on the chart. And that's a good point too, Dawn. I want to correct what I said. It didn't dive. It was a pullback. You're absolutely correct. Make sure I'm using the right terminology. You're absolutely correct. So so make sure you check us out Sunday at noon. We're going to be going live, and that's only within the groups that we'll be going live and breaking down, and bring some plays with you. So if you're going to be watching, bring some. If you have some ideas for some plays for next week, remember it's a short week, but make sure you bring some plays with you that you think may pop. We're going to be talking about it. Several companies. I know Corey got some on his list he wants to talk about, as do I. And I know the gentlemen are out there studying now. Also, if you're in the group, I want you to ask any question that you have. I don't care what question it is. Please make sure you ask it. We got some powerful and bright brothers and sisters in there that'll be willing to help you and answer you and get you started in any way possible. We don't care whether it's about real estate, the stock market, whether it's about precious metals, whether it's about crypto. We have somebody that can get you an answer. So make sure you ask those questions. For the folks who aren't a member of the group, we still appreciate you watching our our Friday show, tuning into our podcast every Wednesday. We're also part of the Black Wealth Project Sunday. So we're doing a lot of media, but also the education piece too. Would you ready to say, Corey?
No, I mean, it's all love. Like, the thing about it is, what we do is we do it all in love, right? Because we're concerned with the whole of the Black community. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's people that are concerned with the Black community, and they're out there really getting to it. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there that are really showing Black people how to get into it, and all of that. but the average black person don't have access to a lot of this stuff, and it's being put like in a place where we can't get it, and so it's driving me nuts. And so that's what brings us to the way we do things and why we do things. Like, and I want to say thank you to all of the people who have shown us the same energy that we've shown them. Like, we really be out here doing it in love, and they showed us that love back. And so we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely appreciate that, right? And that's a great point because um somebody sent me a text like after last Sunday, and they were like, I don't think people recognize like that what you could have charged for what was on the screen. And I'm like, well, it's not about that. And they're like, no, they were just saying like the value proposition in terms of what it costs to be a member of the group versus what you get is insane, right? Because you get access to some folks that like a lot of folks that are within the group, they charge consultant fees. But when they're within the group, they're willing to answer and ask questions because of the energy and everything that's being built right there. So just want to say thank you to everybody and make sure you pay attention to what's going on. So if you're not a member of the group, hit us up. We can get you in there, let you know what's going on.
Before we go, I do want to say another thing. Thank you to all of our partners at By the Hood, right? So our partners consist of Malik. He has courses at By the Hood U. Jay Johnson, Leslie Richardson, Camille Salter does
Mm-hmm.
our crypto course. Uh, am I leaving anybody out?
Lance, you say Lance?
Delancia Hamilton. She's our partner. She does the challenge inside of the By the Hood inside By the Hood University. And so I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We have so many partners. You see what's happening. Like, we got so many partners. I'm forgetting, some
Yeah.
major folks that's really
David Williams, Antonio, they got their own things
yeah,
too. Like, so
yeah,
that's the thing, right? So it's about collaboration over competition. We all work together. It's crazy because we've actually referred people to other folks that do the same exact thing we do. And
no smoke. Like, we because my thing is, if you can get it, I want you to get it from whoever has it. Because if you can't get it from me and you don't want it from me, I don't want you to get it from me. I want you to get it though. Like, I
yeah.
really don't care who you get it from. And
Fantasia, look, thank you for being a part of the community. And Adrian, I appreciate those kind words. You know, listen, that's what it's about. When we get messages like that, that's what it's really about. If you have any questions for myself or Corey, you can hit us up personally. You be always in the group, so you can find us in
yeah,
the group if you're a member of the group. If you're not a member of the group, and saying you can always just shoot an inbox to Buy the Hood. We're at Buy the Hood everywhere. You can I got main John is IG. We're on IG every day, so you can inbox us on IG. Even though we're not even streaming on IG right now, I just want to say that's a fast way to get in touch with us. If you have any questions and you're not a member of the group, if you're a member of the group, just bring it to the group. We'll talk to you guys over the weekend. I just want to say thank you again. We'll be back here next Friday to talk about whatever's on our mind. Our podcast that we have coming up this Wednesday
oh,
is,
Tank.
yeah, we got
Oh,
Tank on our podcast.
absolute financial legend.
Yeah, when I say Tank is a legend, Tank has worked with the likes of tons of professional athletes, boys to men. Like his background in
His resume is crazy.
yeah, he's managed millions and millions of money, and he was gracious with his time, and he sat down with us and told his story, and that comes on our podcast next Wednesday. He's going to tell his story about growing up literally on food stamps to managing multi-million dollar portfolios for entertainers, athletes, and business owners. So that drops this Wednesday. The current one we have out is with entrepreneur, landlord, developer Anthony Lee. That's currently on there.
Amazing. Listen,
And just checking the back catalog. The back catalog of Buy the Hood, right,
yeah,
is
how about that?
is crazy because some of the folks we got on there, and some of them are in the comments, and some of our a lot of them are member our group too. We got some real legit black
So,
geniuses.
just everybody I named as a partner has been on our show.
That's true too. That's true too. Absolutely.
Leslie, Delancia, Jay, David,
Malik,
Malik, all of them has been on our show.
Jasmine, everybody.
They all gave game away on the By the Hood podcast. They just gave it away.
Somebody told me that they was like, yo, these interviews y'all do on Wednesday, y'all should put that behind a paywall. Here's the funny thing though. The funny thing about when you create content online is you stumble across a lot of marketers, and they always approach you because what they feel like, yo, if I can get you as a client, I can show you how to make more money and I can get a piece. I mean, it makes sense. It's business. But everybody always hits us up and try to tell us why we should be charging more. That's every conversation. Yo, y'all should put this behind a paywall. You should put this behind a paywall. I'm like, dog, I don't want to put everything behind a paywall. I understand that your time is valuable. Like, own your time and space. That's the name of the book that Corey and I wrote. So I totally get that. But you have to be about the mission sometimes too. Everything can't be behind a paywall. Now, granted, sometimes things will be behind a paywall because, for one, we want to make sure that you're willing to sacrifice that money to actually learn, and you get lifetime access to it. And it takes time to actually create some of the content. So sometimes things will be, but you don't have to put every single thing behind a paywall, dog. Like the podcast will always be free because that's our way of highlighting. It's not about us. It's about the folks that we highlight, who are out here doing the work and building businesses. And we got a lot of black geniuses that's like killing it.
Representation matters, and it matters a lot, right? And so that's the other thing about our podcast, because especially when we first started, people was like, damn, I didn't know people did that.
Yeah.
And I know black people did that. And then, we continuously showing black people that's really going out and they riding around and getting it. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really people out here, and there's really black people out here that's willing to tell their stories and give you the game. And I mean, we had the damn president of Bad Boy on the, like, you know what I mean? Like, people, he was giving the game away. He was just giving it away because of how we do and what we do. That's what we hope to inspire in people, right? Because when we out here, we just giving it away. Like, if you ask us a question and we got the answer, we ain't gonna hide it behind a paywall and say, I don't have the answer to that. No, we're gonna give you whatever answer is available. You know, like, so,
Listen, if you see some of the phone calls I was on this week, right? Like, I had a closing today, right? I was at closing at Assurance Abstract on the phone with someone else, like walking them through how to set up an option. Like, so it's like, and the funny thing is, like, so me and Corey, we had a call yesterday with someone. They were like trying to give us money. I want to pay you. I was like, yo, you don't have to pay me.
right?
Like, you don't have to pay me. It is what it is, man. Anyway, man, listen, we can go on because, like, when me and Corey get in conversations, they end up for hours. So I want to make sure I get off here, man. But folks, just want to say we really appreciate you. Stay in tune with us. Adrian, hit my inbox right now. I'm still trying to get you in the group, man. So I'm trying to, I know you ducking the feds and all that, Adrian, but shoot me a message literally right now, because I want to try my best tonight to figure out what's going on with your Facebook profile, whether Zuckerberg, still messing with you and get you in the group. Everybody else, man, y'all have a good evening. We'll see y'all during the course of the weekend within the group, and Sunday we'll be back live, with the $1 Million Challenge. But we appreciate y'all. Peace.